Did you know that one of the world's northernmost capitals is home to a booming culinary scene with Michelin-starred restaurants redefining the boundaries of Nordic cuisine? Welcome to Oslo, Norway. Today, I'm taking you on a journey through an amazing 20-course meal at one of the city's top culinary gems. I'll break down each dish and rate the entire experience in detail, so stick with me to the end so that we can conclude together if this restaurant is worthy of its Michelin stars. If you're new to the channel, welcome to Taste Bud. I'm a sommelier with 20 years of experience eating at some of the best restaurants around the globe. On this channel, I provide honest reviews of fine dining restaurants based on my own 100 points rating system. So make sure to subscribe as I have tons of amazing restaurant reviews coming up. Tonight's venue is Restaurant Stallen, an extraordinary dining spot nestled in a historic stable in Oslo's Frogner district. This upscale area is known for its elegant residential neighborhoods, charming historic architecture, and proximity to some of the city's major attractions. Restaurant Stallen opened its doors in October 2019 and quickly earned a stellar reputation, culminating in its first Michelin star in 2023. That same year, it also received the prestigious Michelin Green Star, recognizing its commitment to sustainable gastronomy. From sourcing local ingredients to championing environmental welfare, Stallen sets a high standard for conscientious fine dining. But how good is it really? In my own taste bud rating system, a restaurant will have to earn at least 85 points to be classified at the same level as a 1 Michelin star. When it comes to Restaurant Stallen, I'm really not sure where we'll end up, but I'll get back to that. We arrived at Restaurant Stallen on a rare, warm autumn evening, opting, as always, for the first seating of the night. In my opinion, starting early is the best choice. It gives you the rare privilege of enjoying the space almost entirely to yourself for a few moments and being greeted by an attentive and enthusiastic staff ready to set the tone for the evening. What about you? Do you prefer arriving early, or is a later seating more your style? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your take. Stallen offers an intimate and cozy dining experience, perfectly suited for its limited seating. You can choose to be seated downstairs, where you'll feel the energy of the kitchen up close, or upstairs, where the atmosphere is quieter and more serene. With only a handful of tables on each floor, this is far from a large restaurant. Every detail feels personal and intentional. The interior embraces a modern Norwegian aesthetic, minimalistic yet refined. You'll find high-quality tableware, from Salto glasses to Mura knives and beautifully crafted ceramic plates sourced from Norway. After a warm welcome from the sommelier, we were escorted to our corner table for the evening. The experience began with the presentation of the menu, which is a single tasting menu that evolves daily, crafted around the finest ingredients available. It's priced at 190 euros, which is pretty average compared to similar 1 Michelin star restaurants in Norway. Tonight's journey includes just under 20 courses, totally divided into 3 stages. There's 4 to 5 snacks, then there's 7 to 8 main dishes, including desserts, and finally, there's 3 to 5 sweet petit fours. For drinks, you can choose a wine pairing priced at 190 euros or a non-alcoholic pairing priced at 95 euros. You can also order from the extensive wine list by the glass or bottle. As a subscriber, thank you. You already know my go-to advice. Stick with the suggested wine pairing instead of ordering your favorites from the wine list. As a sommelier, I can vouch for the thought and effort behind matching each wine perfectly to the dishes, ensuring the best possible dining experience. Since the wine pairing typically begin with the first main dish, starting with a glass of champagne is always a great idea. It sets the tone for the evening and usually pairs beautifully with the opening snacks. The sommelier recommended a champagne from Domaine Fleury in Côte d'Or, their first biodynamic cuvée. Made with 85% Pinot Noir and 15% Chardonnay, It offers lovely honey and acacia aromas. With zero dosage, it's extra dry, yet full and generous on the palate. And with that, we're off to a fantastic start. While waiting for the first snack, one of the chefs serves us a chilled kombucha made from black mulberries harvested in Harstad, northern Norway. It's infused with elderflowers and herbs from Stallen's own organic farm in Lier, where they grow over 150 varieties of herbs, flowers and vegetables. The kombucha is wonderfully fresh with floral sweetness from the mulberries, a perfect palate cleanser for the journey ahead. Another chef arrives, reinforcing one of Stallen's unique charms, the close connection between diners and the kitchen. Each dish is presented by one of the 4 chefs working tonight, led by Sebastian Myhre, the head chef and founder of Stallen. Before opening his own restaurant here, Sebastian accumulated extensive experience at several prestigious restaurants. Notably, he worked at the 3 Michelin-starred Per Se in New York, a renowned establishment under chef Thomas Keller. Myhre's time at Per Se significantly influenced his culinary approach and honed his skills in high-end gastronomy. Additionally, he gained experience at Feinschmecker in Oslo, a well-regarded restaurant known for its fine dining, and the now 3 Michelin-starred restaurant Re-naa in Stavanger, which is celebrated for its innovative use of local ingredients. Re-naa is currently receiving raving reviews, so let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do a behind-the-scenes deep dive on that restaurant. Chef Myhre has crafted a culinary philosophy rooted in sustainability and local sourcing. Stallen's menu highlights the best of Norway's natural bounty with ingredients from local farmers and fishermen. This respect for regional traditions and nature is evident not only in the dishes but also in the restaurant's focus on minimizing waste and using homegrown produce. This philosophy shines through from the very first snacks presented as 2 delicate bites. The first one is a dumpling made of pickled kohlrabi filled with duck liver mousse and dehydrated pear, served on crisp rye bread. The dish is rich and complex, perfectly balancing the creamy duck liver with the acidity of the kohlrabi, while the rye bread adds texture and depth. The second bite is a rust cracker filled with potato and pickled herring emulsion, topped with red onion and dill. Crispy and playful, it delivers an elegant yet concentrated burst of herring flavor. Next, 2 new snacks arrive. First, a cilantro and tarragon tart filled with parsley emulsion and grilled langoustine, topped with pickled chili, spring onion and quince powder. The sweet, rich langoustine pairs beautifully with the herbal crunch and a hint of chili spice. The final snack is a potato tart filled with beef tartare and smoked eel, topped with fresh seasonal herbs. This dish, inspired by Norway's coastal flavors, offers clean, umami-packed bites to round off the snack courses perfectly. And with the snacks and champagne behind us, it's time for the first main course and first wine pairing of the night. However, instead of wine, we're served a ginjo sake from the Shikoma Nishiki brewery in Nagano, Japan. Made with Miyama Nishiki rice, polished to less than 60%, this sake is floral and elegant, yet full-bodied and fruity. Its refreshing apple-like sweetness and acidity make it an excellent match for the dish ahead. And the first main course is Hamachi, served with pickled cucumber, lemon bee brush salts and Icelandic wasabi. The fish is soft and tender with clean, light flavors. While the acidity paired beautifully with the sake, the dish lacked the texture and concentration to be truly exceptional. Still, it's a solid start to the main course. The next course takes us back to the deep fjords of Norway. The head chef himself presents perfectly seared scallop infused with garlic and thyme, served on shiitake mushrooms from Trøndelag. The dish is elevated with an XO sauce made from fermented scallop roe and finished with a rich butter sauce, apple vinegar and vin chaud. This was truly magnificent. Scallops at their absolute best. The combination of mushrooms, fermented roe and the velvety sauce created layers of umami and complexity. Easily the best dish so far. The pairing, however, was a surprise. Viña Tondonia Gran Reserva Rosado 2012 from Lopez de Heredia. This rare rosé, made with 60% Grenache, 30% Tempranillo and 10% Viura is a unicorn among wines. Produced from 91-year-old wines and aged for years in oak barrels and bottles, it offers a fascinating profile. Plum, walnut, hints of toffee, and a creamy, sherry-like undertone. While tasting this rare gem was a joy, as a pairing, it unfortunately felt slightly mismatched. The rosé's reductive style and sherry-like finish didn't quite complement the rich, buttery scallops. A more elegant, mineral-driven and richer style, Chenin Blanc or Chardonnay might have been a better fit here. That said, both the dish and the wine were extraordinary on their own, making this course unforgettable despite the imperfect pairing. Next, head chef Myhre returns with a beautifully minimalistic dish, halibut from Ålesund on Norway's Midwest coast. The fish is topped with a layer of blackened scallop, imitating its skin, paired with a glazed young onion, crown dill and Indian cress. It's finished with a luscious sauce made from roasted halibut bones, chicken broth, and of course, plenty of butter. This was another fantastic seafood course, featuring tender flavors elevated by the rich, buttery sauce. The pairing was a dry ferment from Hungarian winemaker István Szepsi, a pioneer of dry wines in the Tokaji region. This estate cuvée offered an elegant nose of spice, lime and apple with a vibrant palette of apple and apricots. It proved to be a thoughtful match, highlighting the sommelier's expertise and adding another layer of enjoyment to the meal. As we finish the last drops of the ferment, the chef returns with a classic bread and butter course, an essential element of any fine dining tasting menu. For some diners, the quality of this humble pairing can define their entire experience. And if that were the case here, Stallen would have earned 3 stars. The bread, made with fermented potatoes from their own garden, was exceptional. Paired with whipped butter, enriched with nyr and Icelandic-style yogurt. Simply outstanding. Before the next dish, we were served a frozen palate cleanser made with elderflower gin and kvarg, a traditional Norse-style cottage cheese. It was refreshing and a much appreciated break after the 9 courses we'd enjoyed so far. As we prepared for the next course, the sommelier introduced a surprising wine, a 100% Pinot Grigio from Alexis Parashos, a Greek winemaker that has been based in the region of Friuli, Venezia Giulia in Italy since the 1980s. Unlike the typical straw yellow Pinot Grigio, this wine was left on the skins, giving it a beautiful hue and aromas of anise and Campari. The palate was rich and well-balanced with impressive depth. Sebastian returns with the next dish, seared summer cabbage in smoked butter, served on Norwegian-style kimchi and gooseberries, surrounded by a luscious sauce of burnt cabbage, butter and cream. Edible flowers from their garden completed the plating. Cabbage, often overlooked as a main ingredient, was the star here. A beautifully composed dish with texture, sweetness and acidity. The Pinot Grigio paired wonderfully, enhancing the dish and proving itself an excellent food wine. As we near the final main course, we are served a red wine from one of my favorite winemakers, Rajat Par. A former sommelier turned winemaker, Par launched his career in winemaking in 2010, leveraging his extensive expertise in global wines. This particular cuvée is from Par's Nithya project, a 100% Cabernet Franc from Massa Vineyards in Carmel Valley, California. Known for its diverse microclimates, the region's unique terroir shines through. On the nose, the wine offers red and black fruits like raspberries, blackberries and plums, layered with floral, violets and hints of spice and earthiness. The palate delivers classic Cabernet Franc notes of fruit, green bell pepper, herbs and minerality, supported by fine, well-integrated tannins. Before the last main course, the chef returned with a delightful snack, a smoked choux à la crème filled with lingonberry and a dry-aged fat emulsion topped with mature cured ham. This bite was salty, smoky and rich, balanced perfectly by the fresh acidity of the lingonberry, a wonderful prelude to the final dish. Head chef Myhre is back again, this time with an elegant, minimalistic, plating. It's dry-aged Wagyu beef from Molde on Norway's Midwest coast, accompanied by a bouquet of cabbage and garden herbs, grilled and brushed with brown butter. The dish was finished with a classic Bordelaise sauce made from Wagyu fat, shallots, garlic and parsley. While the meat was good, it wasn't quite A5 grade Japanese Wagyu. It paired nicely with the Cabernet Franc, but overall, this course didn't stand out as a highlight of the evening. What truly stood out though were the two desserts following the main course. The first featured green tomato, honey, quinoa seeds and a burnt sabayon sauce, an unexpected combination that tasted like heaven. It was paired with a Riesling Spätlese from the historic von Ottergraben winery in Mosel, Germany. With around 75 grams of residual sugar, the wine's vibrant acidity perfectly balanced its intense, sweet tropical fruit flavors. Easily one of the best pairings of the night. The second dessert was Stallen's take on the classic pavlova, served with Norwegian strawberries, a creamy crème diplomate and a rhubarb consommé. Who could resist such a treat? It was paired with the final wine of the evening, a Gewürztraminer from André Ostertag, a pioneering winemaker in Alsace, France. This late harvest cuvée from the Fronholz vineyard, with 120 grams of residual sugar, opened with aromas of blossom honey, damask rose and lychee. Its luscious, rounded palate was filled with sweet yellow peach compote, almost a dessert in itself, yet a perfect match for the pavlova. A thoughtful and creative pairing by the sommeliers. As we wrap up this meal, I'd love to hear your impressions of the restaurant so far based on what you've seen. Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts. The evening ended with one final serving. No Norwegian meal is complete without a quality cup of Nordic roast coffee. Alongside 3 petit fours arrived a brown cheese tart filled with caramelized brown cheese, a cannelé with rhubarb compote, and a sour cream mousse with sea buckthorn. A perfect conclusion to a 4-hour dining experience, coming out at 365 euros. Was it worth it? Overall, I'd say it's pretty good value. But before we go into details on the final score, I'd like to thank you for watching this far. If you like this episode, I'd really appreciate if you give it a thumbs up, and please let me know in the comments what I can do better in my future videos so that I can provide even more value when reviewing fine dining restaurants. Now, let's reveal my final scores across the following 4 categories. First, interior and atmosphere. I really enjoyed this restaurant's intimate vibe. However, the small space means tables are quite close, so privacy can be limited. Seating also varies. Downstairs, near the kitchen, is lively and dynamic, while upstairs is calmer, ideal for couples seeking a more relaxed experience. My score? 7 out of 10. The second category is service. Friendly, relaxed, yet professional and attentive. While there were a few minor lapses, it met the standards expected at this level. My score? 17 out of 20. Now, for the wine and beverage category. The sommelier deserves credit for a creative pairing that elevated the meal. However, I would have appreciated more detailed presentations, which may have been rushed due to a full restaurant. Based on quality and pairing, still a high score here, 18 out of 20. And now for the most important category, the food. Chef Myhre delivered a great menu with excellent flavors and variety. While the dishes were solid, some felt like pretty safe choices. I hoped for more creativity and playfulness at times. Still, a strong showing with a solid score of 45 out of 50. In total, a score of 87 out of 100, placing Restaurant Stallen in the very good restaurants tier. Well done and an impressive score, but how does it stack up compared to a 3 Michelin-star restaurant? To find out, I highly recommend you watch this video next, where I review 3 Michelin-star restaurant A Poniente in Cadiz, Spain, named the world's best seafood restaurant. It honestly blew me away, so I really hope you'll enjoy my in-depth review. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to see you in the next one.